Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I, as always, are happy to have the athletic director at CHS with us. And Andrea Van Meter, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
We're okay. Sam, did you ask Sam if he's okay?
Sam, are you okay today?
I'm sleepy.
I could agree with that one. Yeah.
Let's talk with some good news. Girls soccer team, Lady Spartans, are in the regional.
Yep, back-to-back sectional champions. They are playing the regional semifinal game on Thursday at Spartan Field.
Okay.
6 p.m.
Okay.
Playing against Lawrenceburg, who they played last year at regionals down at Lawrenceburg. So this year we actually get a host. So home field advantage hopefully will go for us. And I think the girls, if they're confident enough, I mean, they've got the tools.
Yes.
I mean, they really do have the tools, the right
good record.
Girls in the right spot. They do have a very good record. I think it's all about believing in themselves. I really do. They play hard all the time. There's a couple girls that got sick, a few that were a little injured, banged up after last week. I mean, playing 3 games in a week to win the sectionals, that takes a lot on you. And driving to Beech Grove 3 nights.
Yeah.
And one night was gross. It was raining and windy, and then Saturday night was a beautiful night, but it was a little chilly. So I think they're recovering over the weekend and the beginning of this week, and I think they'll be ready to go.
Fans that want to come buy their tickets?
Tickets are online. They should have the ticket links for me this afternoon.
Okay.
So hopefully by the time this airs, everyone will be able to get their tickets on the My IHSAA or the IHSAA event link site. They're $10 a piece, pretty steep. That money all goes to the IHSAA to pay for the rest of the tournament and all the awards and stuff that the kids get. So we will have a cash option if people need it, but we're hoping that everybody will do
And
digital.
all sports tickets
are not good.
honored, right?
Correct. So they're all sports, not all events. Let's put it that way.
Okay, all events.
Yeah,
okay.
Some people think that all sport tickets are all events, and unfortunately, they're not honored. And
Sure.
but we'll have 2 ticket gates open. Parking will be on the west side of the school over by the field house. It's too hard to try to man all of the campus.
Sure.
So we'll have just one entrance on the west side of the field.
That should be adequate, don't you think?
Hope so.
Yes.
There should be plenty of parking over there, and hopefully easier for us to manage.
Be a great evening, I hope, and the weather cooperates.
I don't know about that. It'll be a great evening of soccer. Let's just hope that the weather cooperates. I think it's supposed to rain, and didn't you say it's supposed to be cold?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's supposed to rain, I believe, and tough, I would think, playing this time of year.
The girls like to play in the rain, but I don't think they like to play in the cold rain.
Right.
Big difference.
Summer rains are different.
It's a big difference.
When you said that IHSA gets all the proceeds from a regional, are there? You have expenses. Are you reimbursed? Is the school reimbursed? And
Yep.
And then, like Lawrenceburg, they got to drive up here. They have expenses of coming. Do they get anything?
So it all depends. It's kind of sad, but it all kind of depends on the sport. So the only 3 sports that profit anything off of an IHSA event would be boys and girls basketball and football. Every other event, the school will pay for all of the workers. So I'll pay all my ticket takers. We pay the officials out of our money, the scorekeeper, the timer, the ball kids, and then the IHSA basically takes it out of the gate. So at the end of the event, I have to upload all of the signatures for people, and it'll show how much we brought in with digital tickets, how much we brought in with cash. It'll subtract our expenses, and then it'll tell us how much we have to write a check to the IHSA for. So basically, they kind of keep whatever is left over. Now, for football, sectional is a little different. Since we host that, we'll send our money to a school. So they'll ask us who wants to be like the sectional director. So last year was New Pal. So we wrote the profit check to New Pal, and then New Pal collected it through the whole sectional tournament.
Yes.
And then at the end, we got a percentage of that back. So they didn't keep all of it at the state level. So in a way, they pay for the officials and all of that stuff, but we have to pay for it up front of our pocket.
And the 3 sports that you mentioned, boys and girls basketball and football, are the revenue sports for the school that really help with the money you take in on that, helps
Sure.
with the entire athletic program. So it's
Absolutely.
important to go support that and
Sure.
and buy the all-season pass or buy at the gate and not just stay home.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it does help. Those are our bigger attended events. Though we do have some smaller sports that have large crowds. So through the season, that kind of helps. Middle school crowds are relatively large compared to some of our high school events. But yeah, so those events, we keep everything from the concession. And so the groups that work the concession stands get a percentage of what we bring in that evening. So we get enough basically to cover our costs in the athletic department and maybe make 10% off of what we get, and then we give the rest of it to, in our case, the boys and girls basketball program are the ones who man those. So if you come in and watch a game, those kids are in there working, or their
Yes.
parents are in there working to try to
Yes.
make money for those kids.
I
So.
used to man one of those.
Did you?
As a band booster. The
Okay.
band boosters used to do
Band
the
boosters
football.
are going to do the girls basketball this year. So we struggled with finding one set group to do that, and so they volunteered to do the main concession stand for girls basketball this year. So now hopefully we can open 2 concession stands for girls, because it gets such big crowds
Yes.
that I'll have to find another group to work the other one. So
That'd be a good problem to have.
that would be a great problem to have.
Speaking of the officials, they are assigned by the IHSAA, aren't they?
Correct. So after the game on Saturday night, Sunday morning, I was given. Well, actually, I don't know how they did that. I think they send it out to them and ask them if they're qualified. The coaches vote on them throughout the year, rank them after every game, and then based on how they get ranked by the coaches, decides whether they're a sectional, regional, or like a state level official. And so we were assigned 3. For some reason, I think we're supposed to have 4 for regionals. I haven't seen the 4th name come through yet, so I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Well, we hope so. We have a full.
It'd be nice if we had 4, but
Yes.
usually most games we only have 3 anyway.
Okay,
So.
okay.
I think the 4th one is there just as a kind of an on-call, because they actually wear headsets and kind of talk to each other throughout to kind of help each other out, which is a little different than normal games.
And then you'll be hosting a football sectional.
Next Friday, yep, on the 20th.
Okay. And
Greenwood Community will be coming down to us.
Greenwood Woodmen, I believe it is.
I think they are they
The Woodmen.
Woodmen? Woodmen, yeah, the Woodmen.
Woodmen.
Yeah, don't know a whole lot about them. I feel like their schedule or their record is very similar, I think, to where we were last year. So new team, new opportunity, a new group of fans that we're not used to having. So hopefully they'll bring some fans down and get to see what Connersville has to offer.
Yeah, the first time ever, I think, for Connersville to be playing Greenwood.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember in
I don't
any
know.
sport.
Yeah,
And, they're not that far away, south side of Indy. But, so, yeah, I think the good news is that we get to host the first game again. And I don't know how many years in a row, but when that popped up the other night when I was watching the pairing show, that I thought, well,
you
good.
thought, oh, Andrea Van Meter, you get to host something else. That's what you were thinking.
Right, you're not busy enough, so
Yeah,
it's,
yay.
well, sure, right.
No, that's good for our boys. I think home field advantage means a lot.
Oh, yes.
Encourage fans to come out. I know our boys could use that support. They've had a rough go. I mean, we've got a rough conference. We play some tough
It
teams.
is.
And, I mean, it's not just us that's being affected by these teams. Other teams are just getting hammered by Lawrenceburg and East Central. So,
Batesville playing very
Batesville
well.
plays very well. So, I mean, it's not just us. And I
Right,
know people
right.
think that it's just Connersville and, oh, they're not playing well, but that's not true.
No.
Our boys are playing hard. They're playing all the way to the whistle.
They've never given up, so
They've
that's the
never
important
given
thing.
up. I mean, we've had injuries and illnesses, and
Yes.
so for them to keep battling, very proud of them for doing that. I hope they don't give up on themselves. This community's tough. When things are going well, this community talks very well. When things aren't going well, people don't talk very nice. And I just encourage people to keep that out of their mouths, away from our kids. Be positive. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I kind of, my motto.
They're not going out there to lose. They want to win. They want to play well.
Yeah.
It's just that
Just not following,
competition's pretty
yeah.
tough.
Absolutely it is.
Well, it should be an interesting tournament, though, don't you think? And
It's a different, you mean for football? It's a different tournament. These are new teams that we've not seen. Greenwood, Martinsville, Jennings County,
Yes.
Edgewood, Silver Creek, that school that's always in there. Then with East Central, of course, the defending 4A champions coming
Yes.
back. So, I mean, it's a tough one. Probably the toughest 4A sectional in the state. And
Right.
we're lucky enough to be in that one, I guess you can say. So,
I'm just glad we
That's
don't have
tough.
to go back down to East Central this year for a sectional game. We get to see somebody new.
correct. Absolutely.
Is it a multi-round tournament, though? You win one sectional game, you have to win some more sectional
Yeah,
games.
you have to win 2.
Yes.
Well, you have to technically win 3
Gotta
to,
win
to
3
get
to
out
win
of
it.
your sectional.
To advance
Yes.
to the.
So
Yeah.
it's 3 Fridays in a row.
Yep.
Yeah. So after you host like the first one,
I didn't even, you know what, as you say that, I didn't even look at the bracket. I'm sure you guys probably
Well,
have
I
it.
forget
but
who's in the
I know we're at
bracket
the
above.
bottom, but I feel like we're the top of, if we would win against Greenwood, we would be at the top, and it's
And
the
I think
bottom
Jennings-
teams
Well,
that host.
I don't know
Yes.
if I saw it that way.
You saw it differently.
Because there's a bracket, I thought there was a bracket above us. So if we win and the other team bracket above us
We
wins,
get to
then we
host
get to
again.
host again.
I
We
think
get to
that's
host
Jennings
again.
County.
And you know what? That's a good thing.
That's a great news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like I said, I couldn't remember
But
where
if-
we were at in that bracket.
But if the other team in the top part of that bracket above us wins, then they would host.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
If we've already hosted and the other team that would be coming in hasn't hosted, then that team would get to host.
Gets a chance to host.
I think that Jennings County, I believe, is in the other bracket. I think.
I think you're right. I
Yes.
think you're right on that one.
So
Jennings County, I forget who the other one is, but the other good news, we're not driving to Edgewood, whatever that
I
is.
think that's where who they wanted to play though. And
Okay.
if talking to the coaches, I think they were really hoping to get Edgewood, but
We're not driving to Silver Creek.
Edgewood is down that area.
Down,
Yeah.
down
So.
west of Bloomington, I thought, but I
Yep.
don't know.
well, it's great for the fans of Connersville that we're hosting and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I just hope they come out. I know a lot of times when all sport tickets aren't allowed and the ticket prices are $7 for
Yes.
sectional games, sometimes that deters people. They don't want to come out and spend the money, but as long as the weather's nice, it's a great opportunity to get out and just do something in Connersville on a Friday night.
See some good football because
Yeah.
all these kids are up for the tournament. And
It's tournament time. Anything
So-
can happen.
Will there be an advance ticket sale, or you just get them at the door?
I haven't gotten the ticket links yet. Those will. I don't know when I'll get those. Hopefully, I'll get them by next week. Usually, they send out a thing for us to set those up, so it'll be the same way. It'll be online. Advance tickets would be online through EventLink or pay cash at the window. They're encouraging all of the IHSA stuff to do cashless, but we always have a cash option.
So you were talking about, of course, that's regional round. You were talking about tickets for soccer being $10, but they go up each week.
They do. For some reason, soccer is not honoring a all-session pass for this soccer regional, because usually it's 10 for a single or 15 for both, but because the locations are different places, they're making it 10 and 10. So, yeah, they couldn't figure that one out because it's 2 different locations. So, but yeah, it goes up at 7 for sectional, 10 for regional, and then depending if it goes straight to state or the semi-states, I think semi-states are usually 15 and states anywhere between 20 to 25. Depends on the venue. So,
football on Friday night with Batesville, Spartan, coming to Spartan Field. What are you adding to the ball game as far as senior night? And
adding to, I like that. What production are you going to have Friday night? That's the question.
What makes the halftime a half hour long?
Yes. Yeah, I know. They asked me if it was Beyonce last week. I'm like, no, it's not Beyonce. So this Friday will be football senior recognition. So we're actually going to do that at the pregame, not at halftime. Because if you do it at halftime, then Coach Lynch is not going to have time to talk to his boys. I
Sure.
think he has 18.
That's important.
I think there's 18 seniors total between managers and players. So not sure when we're going to start that. I think maybe 6:30, 6:25, 6:30 is the plan to start. I think 6:30 is plenty of time to start recognizing them, and then at that time, then they'll clear the field at 6:45 and then get ready for everything. And then the band will perform at halftime like they have before, but nothing else special. We don't have any little kid nights or anything, which last Friday was wonderful. Seniors and for the cheer and Spartanettes and band color guard got their recognition in just in time.
Yes.
Before they got blown away. Right. So, because it got very windy after halftime. We had flags on the play that weren't yellow flags. They were red and white Spartan flags. And things were just blowing everywhere.
Well, cold front went through and...
It did, right during that halftime.
And put a damper on a lot of things.
It definitely did. It got pretty cold there.
I think a pretty good chance of rain this week. So,
thank you for saying that, yeah.
Unfortunately.
And you'll be dry up in the box.
Best box in the state of Indiana. Seems like, though, over the years, since I've been doing football, that more times than not, when we play Batesville, it rains for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's just that time of year.
I don't remember going to the Batesville game last year. Wasn't it on a Saturday? Didn't it get rained out and moved to a Saturday, or they didn't have officials and we had to move it to Saturday last year?
I think they didn't have officials and they had to move it.
I feel like Damon went to that game last year. It was like an 11 o'clock afternoon game. It was pretty. It was a pretty day. Yeah. But for some reason, I'm thinking something happened and it got moved to a Saturday last year. But I don't know. Maybe rain. Hopefully not rain. I don't want to be out in the rain. The boys probably would love it. They probably would love to get out and get dirty.
Slop it up a little bit.
Tear the field up,
rain, unless Sam comes and holds an umbrella over you.
I don't think that's going to happen, Fran.
Okay.
He's got his roof over his head. He'll be fine.
Yes, air conditioned or heated.
It'll probably be heated on Friday, would be my guess.
Actually, I turned the heat on the other night.
Did you? I figured you probably did because it got cold.
Saturday, cross country coming to Connorsville. Tell us about that meet.
So this year, cross country got pushed, or a sectional for cross country got pushed back a week. It used to be last Saturday, but they minimized the number of sectionals, or they increased the number of sectionals, but decreased the number of regionals, or something like that, to make it a little bit more full, because some of the sectionals didn't have very many teams.
Okay.
So we've got 16 teams total.
16?
I think it's 16 teams total coming on Saturday. East Central has been performing very well this year.
Sure.
They did really well at our invite, so I look to see a decent showing from them. We actually had 2 young ladies at the EIAC cross country meet this last Saturday that made all conference, Abby Soriano and freshman Riley Ruff. So I think we've got some girls that have the potential to get out, and we have a couple boys that have PR'd, and I mean, they're PRing, doing their season best, running their season best, but other schools are doing the same thing. So there's a few that have a chance. Axel Flum is very close to probably being able to get out. Carson Geesting, Coach Kirchhoff said that if he could just get out of his head and stop overthinking the course, he'd probably be okay. But again, you got home course advantage. Our kids run that course all the time and get a chance to see it, feel it, know it.
Sure.
So there's got to be some kind of a benefit in that. So I'm excited to see how they can run on Saturday.
Takes a lot of volunteers to put that on. Right?
Yep, cross country, hosting anything cross country is pretty difficult. It's probably up there with track. The number of volunteers you need to block the roads and, help the kids at the chute. Yeah. Yep, make sure they're turning at the right spot, getting the course set up, making sure it's mowed low enough. I mean, all of those different things play a factor in it.
A start time is
10:30 for the boys, and then the girls. It's kind of like a rolling start, but the girls will probably start around 11:15.
You have 15 buses would be coming in, apparently.
Yeah, most of them will probably bring a minibus. Some schools will bring a big one. I would say East Central has a big enough squad. They might bring a regular size bus. But with it being early and on a Saturday, a lot of the schools will come in their minibuses. So
if you'd like to see a lot of school buses, you can
there you go,
the Spartan parking lot.
And watch kids run. I mean, they're everywhere. Parents are running from one side of the course to the other side of the course. And I mean, I think some of the parents get just as good of a workout as the kids do sometimes. They really do.
Yeah, you have different stations, don't you, throughout the course that they have to get to? And
Well, they go, I mean, they kind of start up by the practice field of soccer and softball, and then they work themselves up to the front of the building by the front of the high school, the main entrance, and then they go work themselves back by the bus barn. So they kind of spread on the west side of the building, which is why we kind of cut the traffic off from like the admin building, the little entry off of Gray Road. I can't remember what that little road is called.
the administration office, I believe.
The administration office, and then there's the one there.
Lane.
Well, but there's another one. There's the one that comes right out by the Career Center.
Career Center Lane. I think.
Career Center, there you go, Career Center Lane. And then normal, the one that comes into Spartan Drive. So all of those are barricaded so no one can drive there, and
Yes.
so the kids are protected.
You have to have someone at each station.
I do.
To
I have someone at each station with a walkie-talkie in case a kid goes down, because sometimes they're not in sight distance of us or the trainers.
Yes.
So we have walkie-talkies that we can radio to each other to make sure that everyone's okay, and also to make sure who the last runner is, so we know if anybody's left on the course before we get started for the next one.
How long is that course? Do you know?
3.1 miles, 5K. Yeah.
It's another fun sport to watch for people.
It is, and I mean, I've seen the good and the bad with that. Last year, our invitational was so hot that kids were falling and getting sick, and I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, kids passing out, and they're like, oh, they always do that. I'm like, oh, that's not okay. That's not really okay that your kid passes out. And then this year, the meet was a lot cooler, so we didn't have the issues with the passing out and dehydration and all of that. So I think there's some good and bad in there, but the kids work hard.
Shouldn't have a problem with heat this week.
I know. It'll probably be rainy and mushy and soggy, so.
The winners from Saturday, where do they advance to?
For cross country,
Yes.
they go to Shelbyville. So Shelbyville's course, they don't actually run, I'm pretty sure they don't run at Shelbyville. They're running behind the Walmart there. There's Blue River, I think it's called Blue River Fields. There's a softball complex back there, but it's just a big open area. I don't know if it's the city that owns it or the parks department, but it's kind of a big open area. It's not very hilly, so it'll be an easier course than what our kids are probably used to running on. Last year they went to Rushville, but this year's at Shelbyville. So I think a lot of it is how many teams you can hold now, because it's a little bit bigger.
So this depends on good weather this weekend for everything.
Absolutely. Or, I mean, they all can play in the rain. I mean, they're all used to being in the rain, but the kids like it, but when it's cold, that's when it doesn't get very fun.
That keeps fans from coming too, I think.
It does. I think it does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Better have the hot chocolate ready.
Yeah. Lots of hot chocolate.
Should be quite an event. Back to the girls soccer. How many seniors do we have on the team this year?
5.
Okay.
You're quizzing me. I think it's 5. I knew there was going to be a trick question. I think it's 5. One of them is injured. Abigail Sloan is injured, so she hurt her thumb. Oh, it's been a couple weeks ago. She hurt her thumb, and it's not healing the way that they were hoping it would heal. So she's still out, but most of their seniors do play, and they play hard.
Jeff Kula does a great job with those girls.
He does. They have a really good relationship, and it's just kind of fun to watch the dynamics. I mean, he doesn't yell. He doesn't get excited. He doesn't, yell at the officials like a lot of coaches. He's just kind of cool, calm, collected.
That's good.
Yells when he
That's
needs
in
to
his
tell the
name.
girls. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Just kind of tells the girls what they need to do, and I mean, he's happy for them when they play well, and helps them through when they don't play as well as they want to.
These young ladies really know how to find the end zone in soccer, don't they?
They do. J.C. Allen is probably one of the best, I don't even know what position, forward person, offensive player, I guess you could say, that we've got right now. I mean, she's got a lot of people giving her assists, and Ella Miller, Sophia Starr, Isabella Starr, those girls are really good at setting J.C. up to be successful. Emma Whittemore plays in the middle. She's just a powerhouse.
Yes.
She'll hit that corner kick and it'll go straight to the goal and bam, assist, we've got a goal. So you got Gwen Higby, Claire Schlichty, those kiddos are on defense. Kylie Osborne plays really well, great defense. Trinity Steele is usually in the kind of, I guess, in the backfield. I don't really know. I guess she's a defender. So you got kids that want to be there. And you got kids that want to play, and they're pretty young. I mean, I forgot Kendall Frank's out there too, and she'll just take off running. She's just sprinting, sprinting down the field with the ball. So it's fun to watch the kids and how they've grown. Going from just let's kick the ball and try to score to, hey, she's open, she can score better than I can. So it'll be fun to watch. I think if you haven't watched a soccer game, definitely come out Thursday and watch. Girls have worked for it.
Keep our fingers crossed for good weather.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're talking about this week's events at CHS, and that's the girls' soccer regional. That will be on Thursday, and it's Lawrenceburg coming to Connersville for
Lawrenceburg. Mm-hmm.
And they kick off or tip off, whatever it's called, at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Big crowd, we hope, and on it will be Friday night. Will be the tennis state championships. Do we have anybody representing?
We do not. Colton DeVord got knocked out.
That's too bad.
Last week, unfortunately. Had a little foot injury.
And then Spartan football with Batesville, of course, is on Friday night. And Saturday, we've been talking about the cross-country sectional at Spartan Field quite a bit. And the JV football will be at Batesville on Saturday, and the volleyball sectional finals will be at Lawrenceburg. I'm sorry, at Rocheville.
Batesville. Yeah, so volleyball plays at 10 a.m. on Saturday, their first game. Okay. They're going down this evening to watch Lawrenceburg play, but they will play Lawrenceburg. Mm-hmm. No, they're not watching Lawrenceburg play. They're just watching everybody else. They will play Lawrenceburg
the winner of
on Saturday morning, yes.
Yeah. How did they do against Lawrenceburg during the regular season?
They did get beat, but they competed. So volleyball of all the sports has a really good shot of coming out of their sectional. Mm-hmm. Yes, all the other conference teams have some really tall girls, but I think if our girls pull together, they have a good shot of pulling off a sectional victory. Now, will it be an upset to some of those other teams? Absolutely. But I think they can do it. I mean, we've got girls that can do it. We've got a 1,000-kill leader and a 1,000-assist leader out there.
You know a little bit about that game.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But as long as they can keep their serves in the court, they should be okay. That's what's killed them most of the year. So
we hope the best for all the Spartans.
Absolutely.
This weekend. Right. Here are the area football scores you might be interested in. Rushville is 2-6. They lost 42-18 to South Dearborn. Franklin County 3-5. They lost 48-9 to 7 at Batesville. Richmond is 1-7. They lost 43-0 at Kokomo. Union County is 0-8. They lost 63-18 to Westdell, to 14 to Westdell. Centerville is 8-0. They won 53-0 over Union City. And the Spartans, of course, unfortunately, are 2-6. They lost 2-7 to Lawrenceburg. So that brings us up to date on the season-ending football games. Right around the corner, the tournament.
Yeah, the tournament is coming. I mean, this Friday is Friday the 13th, so what's some rain and wind, and maybe it's a good thing for us and a bad thing for Batesville. Yeah. How's that?
Yeah. We get the luck. So
yeah, absolutely.
Spartans get a win this weekend. It would be a great tune-up for the.
It would be great. Tournament. It would be good momentum to push into.
Mentally and
sectionals.
physically, it would be great
Absolutely,
for the kids, right? We hope the best for them.
Yeah, they need a boost.
That's right. People come out and keep cheering them on as they have all year long.
And positive. The key is positivity. I can't stress that enough. Be positive.
Well, that's
they're
so
kids.
important.
They're high school kids.
Sure.
Again, we talked earlier in the season about leadership and these kids having to step up, and a lot of leaders leaving last year, and just positivity. I challenge our community to be positive.
Well, the kids are going to make mistakes, but who doesn't?
Absolutely. Everybody makes mistakes.
Learn by your
Players,
mistakes.
coaches, parents.
Right.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Right. Thanks a lot, Andrea, for joining us, bringing us up to date on Spartan Sports at CHS. A busy, busy week coming up, and it continues on.
It continues on. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks a lot for coming. And Sam, you have a final word?
Just always nice to have Andrea in the house with us.
And go Spartans, huh?
That's
Go
right.
Spartans.
Go Spartans.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Have a nice evening.